Hello family, so welcome back. Today we are going to do a reading for the month of August. So today I only have two options, and these two options are very interesting. So our first one is a mummy linen piece from Peru. Okay, and the second one is a Egyptian mummy. Okay, so as always, whatever pulls on you the most, that will be the reading for you. And the timestamps will be down below, so you can go ahead and go straight to your reading. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This is for those who picked the mummy linen from Peru. So we're going to go ahead and get started on your reading. I also want to point some stuff out. I will be lighting some incense, and I will be putting this here just so you all can see it. Also, I do have so as you guys can see, a cat ball, and also a little light bulb that I have on the side. My spirits really like to use these. So as I'm, going through messages, or if they're giving messages for the viewers who pick these readings, or if there's something that I'm saying they want to go ahead and confirm, we will see those two light up. I do have a candle on the side that I do have for them, and all of those that we will be calling on as an offering. I also do have some incense on the side that I am going to be burning, and this is to clear the energies on my side. That way we are able to get some accurate messages, and also clear the energy on the other side of the viewers. Okay, and this is going to be burning on the side throughout the whole reading until it's completely done. Okay, perfect. So we are going to go ahead and start with the overall energy for the month of August. Okay. Okay. So the first card that came up is discontent and boredom, number 4, and then number 7, patience and planning. Okay, so it could be that some of you are very bored, you feel lost. There's just this connection when it comes like with your higher self, with your soul mission, with your desires, with your purpose. It seems like you feel like life has just not been satisfying to you. I just saw 2:22 on the clock. Also, it could have also been like you were going towards things that you love or things that you were excited about, but things kind of got in the way. It could have been life, and you just could have gotten discouraged to keep moving forward. But I see that you can move these energies. All you have to do is be patient. When you go through moments like these where things seem to be stuck, they seem stagnant or kind of lost, kind of like murky energy, it is advised to try to look within, try to work on your cleansing, clearing those energies out, also doing healing, right? Because apparently there is some stuff that is not allowing you to be happy, to see that enjoyment and that beautifulness, natural beauty of the world, right? So I would say to start planning whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you want to achieve. Make a list of those things, and then once you make a list, for sure try to think out the steps that you need to complete that to get to your end goal. And I feel like at the end you are going to find that spark again, that spark towards love, that spark towards your relationship, that spark on whatever it is that you want to work on or that you have been working on. Also, like, it might not seem that you might be able to achieve certain things or you might be able to obtain certain things, but I feel like that's just the ego. Those are just illusions that that the ego is creating, and you know, it's making you put your own self down and blocking you from truly manifesting, right? Because if you want to manifest, you want to embody and fully be whatever energies it is that you want to obtain, become, and just obtain overall. Okay, so again, it might not seem like it, but whatever it is that you truly, that your heart truly desires, that you were once passionate about, that you once loved, you will obtain that. And not only will you obtain that, but you will attain like plus more, you know, more than what you can imagine, or more than what you're allowing yourself to accept, and what you're just not seeing. You know, you're just kind of going, you kind of have some like mental fog going on, it's what it seems like. But if you do the planning, if you start getting prepared, you will start to see that fog start to clear away, and then you will start to see things for what they truly are. How you can kind of see here is like some light coming in. It could be like also like money's coming through, happiness is coming through, a lot of magical stuff is going to come through for you, especially love. It doesn't have to be just relationship. Again, it could be like things that you truly want, that you truly desire. Okay, so we are going to move on to what needs to be released. Now, this can be from the past month, past days, past weeks, even from past lives. Okay, so whatever it is that you need to release. Now, I do want to advise that these cards can be a little bit too specific. Now, this doesn't have to be, you know, like things that you have to release. This could also be like people that you need to release from your life. Okay, oh, okay, so we have two cards. Okay, so we have criminal mind. They could engage in some criminal activity, theft, fraud, or illegal drugs. Money matters, pretending to have less or more than they really do. And at the bottom, we do have control. In an effort to control your behavior, they lie to you. Okay, so let's say this is you, right? Okay, so if this is you, obviously stop these activities or behaviors that might put you in a very negative situation, where if you know that you're not supposed to be doing something or is not of your highest good, then you definitely want to go ahead and stop doing it, because you don't want this to become a very bad situation for you where you can come back from it, or that there's just very negative repercussions. Okay, or that might put you in a more worse situation that you are right now, especially mentally. Okay, so if you're doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, make sure not to be doing them. Also, for money matters, you know, sometimes when we're too focused in the material world, we tend to be just not in the right path, right? Because we should be worrying about our well-being, about, you know, our spirituality, about evolving, and becoming the best version of ourselves, right? And that is a beautiful journey in itself. And when we're doing that, we're not focused on money, we're not focused on ego related things, okay? So if you're somebody who's very worried about money, I would say that you need to release this, because sometimes if you're constantly worrying, if you're constantly like, man, am I gonna have enough money for this? Am I gonna be able to afford this? You know, you kind of start to prepare mentally for the worst situation, and you start to think about different scenarios that might happen, right? This in itself, you're manifesting these things by constantly thinking about them. So I would advise to try to see the best outcomes, the best case scenarios for your money, or for however your situation is going, like, right? Especially like with patience and planning, money is gonna come through, or is coming through, but you're just not seeing it yourself, or you're just too clouded and thinking about the wrong things that you're not able to focus or see things for what they truly are. And then, like, in general, just trying to have like this control about your life, about your money, about your happiness, maybe about your love life, or just in every aspect in your life. Sometimes when you see that you can't really have control over certain things, it is usually advised to, you know, sit down, reflect on what has been working, what hasn't been working, what have you been putting your attention towards. Is it mostly negative? Is it mostly positive? Have you been putting effort into changing your situation around, or you have just been waiting for like a miracle and things to be handed to you? You know, are you doing what you need to be doing? And then ultimately, like, it's very important to understand that we don't necessarily have control over things, right? Unless you like try to literally manifest it there's just so different, there's like a lot of methods out there where you can like use magic to try to manifest the outcome that you want. But if you're not doing so and you're not pushing those energies out, then you need to go ahead and still look within, because you can only control yourself. You can only control your actions. You can only control your emotions. You can only control your reaction and how you react to people, things, situations, and everything on the exterior, because the exterior cannot be controlled. Okay, so we want to go ahead, go back to the basics, go back to yourself. And what is it that you need to go ahead and control? What is it that you need to change about yourself? Is it these negativity? Is these negative thoughts? Is these negative words? Are you speaking bad about yourself? Are you speaking bad about your life? Are you, what is it that is not allowing you to really see things for what they truly are? If it's like behaviors, then you need to go ahead and let go of those behaviors. Now, if this doesn't resonate with you, then this is somebody else, okay? So this could be somebody who is constantly getting in trouble with the law. It could be like they're selling things to obtain money. They're robbing to obtain money. It's just like they're just doing like illegal activities to gain money and try to have control over people. They're people who are constantly lying. It could also be like about the smallest thing. And I feel like you all know exactly who these cards are talking about, especially when it comes to the lying or trying to, persuade or manipulate every situation, so that every situation, every outcome is in their favor. So that way they're always winning and never losing. And whenever they lose, I feel like these are people who get very, very, very upset. But I feel like some people can be very, very sneaky, especially if they do a little illegal activities to obtain money. You know, they're used to the hustle. They're used to talking to people, persuading people. They have like a mouthpiece, so they don't really need to do much to get things to go in their favor. So that just went off. I'm not touching the table at all. Okay, so that is confirmation right there. Okay, so if you know anybody like that, you kind of want to start moving away from these people, from these energies, from these situations. If it's not like an outside energy, an outside person, then you need to move. You need to change. You know, you need to start making these changes within yourself, because this is not helping you at all. Okay. Also, I do want to see what like emotions or what things need to be released, so I am going to pull another card for that using a different deck. Ooh. Okay, so this came upside down. Okay, so I would say that one off because of the card, but it says happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path, but this time I will allow it to be upside down, right? So what needs to be released is this feeling of not being happy, of being dissatisfied, of being just not enjoying your life, having a very bland life. But what I feel that you should be doing is actually seeing things differently, trying to have a different perspective to this, right? So for example, if things are not going your way, and you're just trying to do this, you're trying to do that to get this outcome, and this is not working, so then you try the next thing and that didn't work, then you try the next thing and that didn't work, and you ask for outside help and they try to help, and whatever they did doesn't help, right? So it doesn't matter what you do, you're just not able to obtain whatever it is that that you're just trying to get, right? So if it's not working, again, sit down, come back to yourself. If it's not working out, it's not working out. Use this time to work on yourself. This is probably, you know, telling you, like, you know, how about it's time to take a pause, it's time to work on something else, distract yourself with something else. Now I'm not saying distractions, right? I'm saying like healthy distractions. It could be, again, like healing, working on yourself, doing activities that is only helping you to evolve as a human being on this earth, right? And also underneath the deck we do have service. So it says I feel good when I can help others, right? So maybe helping others will bring you that fulfillment, or will take you to wherever it is that you need to be to find your happiness, right? Because just helping others, being there for others, it's very, very special. Well, at least to me, right? I do find a lot of fulfillment in that. Just being able to see people smile, feeling a lot of love, just all these happy, good energies is very beautiful to experience, especially when you're the one who has helped them feel this way. And that in itself, it kind of like pushes those energies towards you, because you had some doing in their happiness, you had some doing in whatever good positive changes that happened in their life, right? So that will in itself will show you a lot of things. Being of service to others has its own lessons, and it teaches you a lot of beautiful things, and it's just a very beautiful thing to do in the world. And I feel like it's something that everybody should try to work towards, right? You know, when you come to a point where you have fully worked on yourself and now it's your turn to give to your community, to give to your family, to your friends, to those who just are pulled towards you, who destiny brought to you so you can help them. Now, this doesn't have to be like a full service. This could be like giving out advice. This could be, you know, sharing your story, sharing your struggles and how you overcame them, or how you're doing, because you never know, there might be somebody else out there who is going through something worse than you, you know, and they're not seeing the light. They're not seeing, they're like in full darkness, or have been consumed by darkness. And we all have the light within us, and I feel like you will be seeing your light, or you will be a light to others, even though you don't see it yourself. Even if you can't see your own light, others can. Okay, it's just about perspective. Okay, so moving on, I do want to pull a card to see what will be your main lesson or challenge for this month. Okay, it didn't flip. I thought it did. Okay, so we have past life karma cycles. This indicates a past life is the reason why the intense energy surrounds you, the person or situation. Look into ways to clear past life karma and see the bigger picture of the situation by viewing it from a lesson perspective. Taking ownership for your part and forgiveness are key in releasing past life karma. Ooh, okay. So that's a little intense. Okay, so past life karma. So there is, you know, things from a past life or from multiple past lives. I feel like this is a lesson that I would say that you continue to come and work on. It could be like, this is just an example, right? For example, like if it's like relationship wise, love, like romantic relationships where you continuously fall for a certain type, and then you always end up like being hurt, being betrayed, or just going through specific situations, or you get put in specific situations where you experience the same thing, but it's just a different person, different time, or you know, it's just like that. It's like meeting the same person but in a different body, different name, different look, if you know what I mean, right? I feel like you really I know I keep saying this, but you really need to look at what's inside, especially when triggers come up. Triggers will tell you a lot of things. I know they're pretty annoying. I know that sometimes they might hurt. Sometimes it might bring forward these intense emotions, thoughts, energies in general, right? But when you get a trigger, try to reflect on it. Why is this action, words, person, whatever it is, why is it triggering you? When did this start? Try to find kind of like the moment where all of this started, right? Because for example, like if something happened during your childhood and you experience a specific type of trauma, then you want to go ahead and start healing and clearing those energies from those traumas so you can overcome it, right? And as you are overcoming this, it could be that you experienced this same trauma and situation in past lives, and you just carry on that hurt, that pain, those emotions, those energies that is just manifested in this one too, right? Because there's sometimes where people, they just don't work on things and it moves on to the next life until they decide to look at it. Okay, so they're confirming to just, you know, head on without any hesitation, without, you know, it can be scary. It can be very, very scary to do this type of work. But once it is done, you will see things start to change a lot better for you. It will allow you to have a different perspective, because you will have an understanding and you will have acceptance towards things, right? And you will be able to accept certain things, certain people, certain situations in your life where things are not going to be as intense, or they're just not going to trigger you as much or bother you as much, because you will be able to move on from them a lot easier, instead of being stuck in these dense, intense energies. Okay, yeah. So let's see if there is some tools that can help you with this past life karma and cycles, because being stuck in cycles and just going around and round and round and round and round and round and certain situations and certain energies and people, it can be very hard and very difficult. And I'm telling you this from personal experience, because that used to be my main issue. And it's just so complicated, especially when you have to face those cycles during like a sacred medicine journey. Okay, so I'm over here. I kind of did ask, right? But the first time, like, a whole bunch of cards came up, but the partnerships was on top, and I just shuffled and partnerships came out on its own by itself. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take it. So it says partnerships, support. You are being guided to reach out to form partnerships and alliances to expand your vision and perspective. Take this time to see who comes into your life that is offering to assist with your endeavors. Asking for help often leads to accomplishing your goals more quickly. Okay, so again, if you're in this type of energy where you're discontent and bored with life, you're obviously not going to be out there looking for friends, looking for like a love, like a partner, a spouse, or because you're too focused in the negativity and not in what you're supposed to be focusing on, right? So now is the time, if you feel like you're too stuck in these energies, that try to find people that can actually help you with that. It could be a lot of things. It could be friends, if you have any best friends. It could be family. It could be practitioners out there that do magic, that are healers. There's many different types of healing methods out there that can benefit you. I would say to do some research, and whatever calls on you the most, that's probably what will help you. But I would say to try to figure out what trauma, what energies it is that you need to overcome, what is the cycle, and then once you know it, and then try to go ahead and seek that group of people that are specialized or that handle those type of energies, so you can go ahead and get that support that you need, right? Because you're feeling alone, you're feeling lonely, you obviously don't have support, or at least you don't feel like you have support, especially when you're feeling like this and having all that murky energy and fogginess in your mind. It's just too much, and it seems like you need a hand, you need somebody to vent to, you need like advice, or sometimes you don't even need advice, it's just somebody to be there for you. Okay, and I feel like after you get all of this sorted out, I feel like you're gonna find like some of you, I would say, like your sole purpose, or just what you're good at, right? Because sometimes when we complete certain lessons, we're like, oh wow, it was that easy. I just had to do this, and this whole time I was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So you might find that you have certain gifts, right? This could be like seeing energies, reading people, reading situations, very connected to your intuition, very connected to spirit. You know, you're gonna be opening things, especially when you start to clear out these energies that are within yourself and your own energy, right? Because these in itself can be blockages and obstacles that are kind of in the way of what is true, what is your true self, and behind, you know, I don't know, I just feel like you guys have like abilities and you're very gifted, even though you might not know, right? It could be like you guys are working through some shadow work, working through some traumas, and just having to heal that. And once you heal that, you're going to see and experience a very different world, and you're going to start to experience a lot of changes within yourself that is going to teach you a lot about yourself, and you're going to be able to use this knowledge and this new experiences to help others, if that is what you wish to do. But I feel like you will eventually be heading towards that path or towards that road. Okay, so when it comes to healing, let's see how you can be your own medicine this month to bring forward that necessary healing. So we kind of you know, got some previews when it comes to that, but I do want to go ahead and pull a card specifically when it comes to your own individual healing. Ooh, okay. Okay, so we have sweetgrass braid, receptivity. Okay, so we have that there. So when it comes to this card, a very interesting thing is that I did use some lemongrass to clear my space before I started recording. Okay, so when it comes to this card, it's just very important that you are, as much as you want to receive like these changes, this positive changes, all these good things, you also have to give it. This could be like in your relationships, your friendships, to the world, to Mother Earth, right? It's always very good that, you know, try to give. I don't know how often you want to do this, but try to give back to Mother Earth. Try to be kind to other people, you know, like give back. Help others if you have the ability to, or if you have the resources to help others, and that will be extremely good. Because if you give back, you will be very surprised about how generous the universe can be and what it can offer you, right? Because if you're helping somebody in need, you will be surprised what type of help you get when you are in need and when you need something. Okay, and also this tells me that you have to be a lot more loving, more kind, more honest with yourself. You know, like if you're feeling something, don't try to ignore it. Don't try to lie to yourself and be like, what? No, I'm not feeling that. That's like, what? I'm not having those thoughts. I'm not having those emotions. No, accept them, sit with them, honor them, because it is a part of you that is just trying to teach you something, and it's just temporary. But you have to pay attention. What is it trying to teach you? What is it trying to show you? Okay, and again, this healing will help you help others. Okay, because you will be surprised how many people are in your same situation, how many people are having those same thoughts, those same emotions. Okay, but just be open to receiving, be open to whatever the universe is wanting to bring forward in your life. Don't try to block it. Don't self-sabotage. Don't be a negative Nancy. Don't be a negative person in general. Okay, and then also underneath the deck we do have 22 strawberry love. So again, emphasis on love, loving yourself, being nurturing. You know, like even if you felt like you didn't receive that love from your from your parents, from your guardians, whoever it was, it doesn't mean that you're not deserving of love. It doesn't mean that you can't just do that for yourself, right? Even try to practice some self-love. Try to practice being kind to yourself. Being your own support system, being your own cheerleader, right? I feel like that is something very important that everybody has to do. You know, don't necessarily like look for that on the outside, but I feel like you should first be that for yourself, and then look for extra like back dancers that can support you, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and move to some self-care activities that you can do this month that will help you along your journey, or whatever it is that you will be going through, or that you are going through in the month of August. Ooh, okay, let's see if anything else. Okay, so we have beauty ritual. Okay, so this is more about like feeling good, right? Sometimes when we get a new haircut, doing your makeup, just doing basic things that when it comes to your appearance, to your skin, to your face, to your nails, we kind of seem to feel really good, right? For example, like people who get facials, and they were dealing with a lot of like just skin problems, skin things, and they go ahead and get some treatments, and they come out, you know, just loving their skin, like, wow, like this is what I needed, I didn't even know. And you know, they're constantly like looking at themselves in the mirror, like, wow, my skin is so beautiful naturally on its own without makeup. Or like getting a haircut, you know, getting a haircut can like drastically change a person. Or even coloring your hair, you know, getting your nails done, your feet, waxing, shaving, also like tattoos, henna, piercings. I just feel like you need to go ahead and take some time this month, or if you want to do it more than once a month, you know, just taking care of yourself physically, what it is that will help you feel better about yourself. And there's so many things out there that you can do, and there's also things that you can do at home. For example, like if you have nail polish at home, paint your nails. You know, this could even be like a bath, and getting some like some herbs or certain waters to put in your bath, and you soak on it, like some candles, like some incense, getting that groove and a nice positive energy going, and then you feel super like nourished, refreshed, and just feeling good overall. You know, there's just so many things that you can do. Okay, so let's also move on to, let's try to get you a healing mantra for the month of August to see. Okay, a healing mantra. Okay, so I'm surprised that, okay, I was about to say, I'm surprised it did not go off. Okay, so we have 3, okay? So it says sharing shame. The mantra is, when I share my deepest pain, I give myself permission to be. Embracing worthiness. I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. And the last one, oh, confirmation, that one, I didn't touch it or touch the table, so I feel like we did discuss this about, you know, allowing, being open to receiving. And I feel like in the month of August, to be honest, is just finding your worth. Okay, and then inspiring others. Okay, confirmation that you are meant to be of service to others and how you will be inspiring other people. Okay, so it says, I help others feel empowered by acknowledging their gifts. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so also with the mantras, I also want to give an affirmation. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Got kind of toasty by the incense, but that is all right. So, I love myself exactly as I am. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. The greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. Okay, that is beautiful. I really like that. Okay, so we are going to move on. Messages from your higher self in your I am present. So I do want to call forward the viewer's higher self and their I am presence. Okay, oh, okay, so we have Cosmic Flower number 18. So it says, the frequency of Cosmic Flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. Okay, that was confirmation. Okay, so basically how I'd say, coming back to yourself. This is basically what I mean. Coming back to yourself, acknowledging who you are, what you bring into this world, because there's so much beautifulness. You are very gifted in so many ways that maybe you don't see it right now, but you will see it later down the road. Confirmation. So love yourself, love who you are, the good, the bad, the things that you try to hide, the things that you try to bury deep within yourself. Guess what? Those things are beautiful too. Okay, so it's okay if you don't see it right now. It's perfectly fine, but later down the road you will see, and that is all that matters. Okay, so let's also pull another card to see what your higher self and your I am presence wants to tell you. Ooh. Okay. Sanity. Okay. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. All right. And also, I do want to add that underneath the deck, we do have detachment. So, this in itself is just, sometimes we tend to see things or label them as good, bad experiences, but once you start to heal, once you start to take that ego off and rip that bandage off your head, of your eyes, your third eye, your crown chakra and stuff like that, you will see that every experience, every person, everything, every situation has its purpose, and it's something very beautiful because it's like a puzzle, and all of them are just pieces to your puzzle that complete your puzzle, that puts you together, that creates this person that you are meant to be, whether it's good or bad or however you want to perceive it to be like. But things are not really how you think they really are, right? Just because emotions and doubts and ego can really disrupt. There's a word that I'm looking for, but I can't really think about it. It just kind of does this to the reality, and you just can't see through it, or like fog. Okay, and also like detaching yourself from this negativity, from these thoughts, from these emotions that do not serve you, anything that is not doing you any well, that is not taking you to wherever it is that you need to be, let it go. Just let it go completely. It doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve you. You know, so why keep holding on to it? Why keep reminiscing about it? Why not look towards the good things or whatever it is that is out there that is waiting for you to be open to receiving it, you know? Let's see what urgent messages there is from Spirit. And I do want to call forward the viewers, spirit guides, ancestors, spirit team, spirit family. If you all can come through and give some urgent messages, whatever it is that the viewers need to hear. Now is the moment for that, please. Ooh. Okay, anything else? Let me pull another card. Anything else? Okay, so we have Animal Kingdom. Animals of all types are extraordinary creatures and miraculous gifts to us. They've been our spiritual companions since the dawn of time. At this moment, they have lessons to share with you that will open your heart and soul. Okay, so I would advise to try to spend some time with animals. If you have some pets, spend some time with them. If you don't have pets, you can always sit outside, look at nature, look at the birds, the squirrels, you know, whatever animals are outside your home. You know, just look at the trees, look at everything around you that is of Mother Earth, or these earthly creatures that are our friends, that have been teaching us so many things for so many years, right? Just seeing how these animals survive, the relationship that they have with, you know, with each other, it tells us a lot of things. Humanity has learned so much just by doing this, just by observing, just by, you know, when you observe, you're learning. So that is very advised, especially I feel like because you have been too much in your head and you haven't been looking into the world for what it truly is, you know. And again, coming back to the basics, coming back to yourself, coming back to Mother Earth, coming back to nature, because that in itself has a lot to teach you. Okay, and I do want to go ahead and see if there is any additional messages. Okay, so I am gonna ask my spirit family that are currently here with me if they can all assist me in giving some additional messages that will be important, useful for our viewers. Please help us in doing so. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in order before I read them out to you, just because I want to make sure we are reading them in order, because sometimes whatever order they're in, it tells a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on top of here. If you want to go ahead and take a screenshot, go ahead and do so. First card is Bat. Take care, enemies are working against you. Harp, great happiness. Box, you will receive a gift. Staff, you will be taken care of in difficult times. Dogs, great getting together with friends. Shield, you need to defend yourself. Okay, so I feel like this in itself has kind of been like a quick summary of the whole reading, right? But I feel like all of this discontent, these negative energies, does come from a past life karma, but I feel like there's also like opposing energies that don't want you to be happy, don't want to see you becoming the best version of yourself, succeeding in life, having whatever it is that brings you joy, happiness, and love, right? But besides that, right, even though they don't want you to have it, you will be having a lot of happiness. You will be receiving the tools, the gifts that you are needing, whatever it is that you truly need, to find your happiness, to find love and stuff like that. You will be receiving them. It will be like somebody just comes out of nowhere, and it's exactly, you know, they offer you exactly what you've been needing, exactly what you have been asking the universe to bring forward, and it's just gonna come. Like, you know, this, everything that you did not work, but it just randomly comes and you didn't have to do anything. It's very important that when you are going through difficult situations, that you will be taken care of, because if you are destined for success, if you are destined for happiness, if you're destined for whatever it is that you're destined, it is destined. It doesn't matter who tries to stop it. You will receive it, okay? You will receive it, and there is nothing that they can do. Okay, so it's perfectly fine. You're probably stressing, not having a good time, but later on you're like, what? I was just so upset for no reason, because in a way, I kind of want to say you're untouchable, but I mean, you are and you're not, right? But just certain things cannot be taken away from you, especially if they're meant for you, okay? I would say, you know, whatever support that you do find, to hold on to it. Don't let it go. These are good people. You would know. I feel like you have a very good intuition about whether people are good, bad, if they're using you, if they're actually helping you out, especially because you have been, or you have experienced people who have taken advantage of you, who have manipulated you, or have made you feel some type of way, okay? And I feel like from all of those nasty people, you do need to defend yourself. Now, this could be in different ways, right? You can defend yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. It just depends what your situation is, and you're being asked to put some effort into shielding yourself. Now, if this is something like spiritually, look into ways how you can spiritually defend yourself, you know. And this could be like doing some type of energetic work, some type of working, getting some enchantments, certain type of spirits. It just depends, right? And if it's like emotionally, it could be like just standing your ground and be like, you know what, no thank you, I'm not going to be accepting this type of behavior because you're not making me feel good. I do not deserve to be treated this way. Deuces, right? Or if it's like mentally, again, the same thing. And sometimes we do have to protect ourselves from our own selves, because we can sometimes think, you know, take things overboard. I would say that's the word, where we can sometimes just overdo things and just end up hurting our own selves. Okay, so we are coming to an end of this reading, and the last thing that I want to do, or I want to pull, is angel numbers. So I would say to keep an eye out. Now you can see these numbers on phone numbers, addresses, license plates, the time. Just whenever you see these numbers, try to pay attention to what you were thinking, saying, doing. Just pay attention to your surroundings overall, because this could be, when you see these numbers, it could be confirmation. You know, spirit could be like, you know, like, hey, pay attention to this, or maybe you stop thinking about that. You know, it just pay attention. Ooh, okay, so we have 2. Okay, so, ooh, okay, so 6. Your heart is your gift. You are a natural born nurturer and have a great talent for helping and healing others. You are the, I don't know, you're the epiphany of self-sacrifice, and a protector of those you love. I am nurturing. 111. Angels are ready to fully support you in this endeavor that you can co-create with the universe and love a life you love. Okay, I am creative. Alrighty. So this is the end of this reading. I do want to thank you very much for watching this reading. I hope that all of this did resonate with you, or at least can help you in the month of August. I also want to take some time to thank my spirit family, my spirit team that gave us those confirmations, and that was an aid in bringing forward these messages. I also want to thank the viewers, higher self, I am presence, spirit guides, guardians, spirit family, and team, all of those who came forward to bring forward all of these messages. I do want to thank all of them. Let me know down in the description down below if anything was helpful, your input, or come back next month and let me know if any of this actually did took place. Also, make sure to follow, make sure to subscribe, to like, and down in the description down below there will be the links where you can go ahead and follow me, and those on the podcast, you can go ahead and follow me, and also check me out on YouTube if you do want to go ahead and see the visuals and the actual cards. And thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Hello, so this is for those who pick the mummy linen piece that we have here. I am going to put this to the side. Also, I did light some incense so we can have that going. And I also do have a little tea light here. So we use it as an offering for spirit and those who come through to help us with this messages and video, or if you're listening to the podcast. I also turn this on, and I'm going to use this incense cone holder to kind of like, keep it in place. I also have this light bulb. If you can see, it does light, but it does give me trouble to turn it off. So let's put it to the side. So I do ask my spirit family if anything that I am saying to please like these two. That way our viewers can see that as confirmation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And we are going to start with the overall energy for the month of August for our viewers and our listeners in the podcast. Okay. All right. Ooh, okay. So this is very, very good. Okay, so we have Love Begins. I really love this card. And I'm also going to show the card underneath. So it is number 1, Love Begins, and number 4, Authority. So let's start with Love Begins, right? So I feel like this is about coming back to yourself, being fulfilled. I feel like even some of the word that comes up is overwhelmed, but I don't say that like in a negative way, but more in a positive way, where you are overwhelmed with all these blessings, all this good positive energy and changes that will be happening or are happening in your life, especially this is the reading for the month of August. This could be like romantically, being with a partner, finding a partner, getting married, commitment, right? For some of you, finally finding that person that kind of like completes you, or not necessarily completes you, it's just perfect to share your journey and your path with, right? Let that be permanently or even temporarily, right? Because everything in this world is temporary, right? So also for those that, if it's not relationship wise, this has to do with like the things that you love. So it could be like you have been working on a project, there's something that you have been wanting to to just like accomplish or obtain. Like this could be like a business, you know, your creativity, ideas. This could be like some art that you're making. This just has something to do that you're very passionate about and that you truly love. You know, this is like something that you can do every day, all day, and you're like not gonna get tired of that, right? And these passions are obviously going to be different per person, right? Because we're obviously not all intrigued from the same things, if that makes sense. Okay. Apart from that going on, there's also going to be like some type of stability, taking ownership of your actions, having that support system, or even if you don't physically have a support system, it's just being able to stand on your own 2 feet, stand your ground when it comes to like previous issues, or just like not letting others interfere with this beautiful energy that is coming through, or that will be coming through and manifesting in your life. Okay. Also, I feel like this, whatever this is going on, it's going to be very important to your path later on. Like I feel like this is going to be just like a type of like domino effect. And you're just going to feel super, I don't know, like fulfilled. You're just gonna find like stability. You're not gonna feel lost. You're not gonna feel worried or stressed. You're gonna feel secure. You're gonna know what the next step is that you're gonna take to obtain whatever it is that you're trying to obtain, if you haven't obtained it already with this card. Okay. On a different note, let's see what needs to be released. Now, this can be from the previous months, past weeks, past days, even, you know, things from past life. So let's see what needs to be released. This could also doesn't necessarily have to do specifically with you. It could be like people with these characteristics that need to be let go of, or at least you need to try to distance yourself from. Okay. So that kind of hit our cat ball, but we have cheating and manipulation. So cheating, the professional, engaging with a P or a S or some form of professional arrangement. Manipulation, they use this situation to make you feel guilty for expressing your concerns in the first place. Okay, so again, you know, if this is you, these things need to be let go of, right? I also, well, before we continue, I do want to show the card that's underneath the deck. So it says secrets. Living in the past could be they haven't gotten over an ex, or something from the past is affecting your union. Okay, so if this is you, I would say, you know, kind of let go of these activities, you know, of where you're seeking like pleasure or some type of fulfillment physically outside of yourself. Or if you have a partner, obviously do not seek that outside of your partner. It is important that we're all that we try to go by our commitments, do the right thing, and not cheat or betray our partners, right? Because if we are in a commitment and we do have a partner, well, you know, we are cheating on them, right? Or betraying. But not only are you doing that to the other person, but you're also doing that to yourself, right? Because you both were hurt, even though it might not seem like it, because there is some people who, you know, who do these type of things and somehow they're completely fine with it, right? And there's also some people who kind of like glorify having multiple partners, or, you know, just doing these type of activities. But usually what happens is that there's like a problem deep within that that is trying to be fulfilled with these things, and once it gets healed through, it gets worked through, and then, you know, the person starts to change these activities, or at least tries not to do them anymore. Okay, so it just depends per person. But just try not to. You know, it can be really hard for some people, or some people like they just like are not that type of person. Also, like you know, if, let's just say this is you, right? So if this is you, and you just need to be a little bit more caring, a little bit more nurturing when it comes to other people, because it can be very easy to just disregard somebody's feelings, somebody's thoughts, and just, you know, kind of be selfish with whatever it is that is happening. Like if somebody's venting to you and you're like, oh my gosh, like can they just stop? Couldn't they just talk to somebody else? Like, I don't know how to handle this. I don't got time for this. I really don't care for this. You know, it's kind of mean to be like that, just because, you know, when somebody is venting to you, it's because they feel comfortable with you, they feel safe, they trust you. And, you know, whenever you're going through that's a similar experience where you're also wanting to vent and you want to be heard, you want to get like somebody's thoughts on whatever you're going through, you wouldn't want somebody else's reaction to be like that towards you, right? You would want somebody to be a little bit more loving, more caring, to truly want to listen, to truly want to be there and be supportive, right? But let's switch it all over, right? If this is somebody else, I'm pretty sure that this person, it's easy to spot, because you probably know that, you know, they do these things where, you know, they seek outside pleasure and stuff, where they just are very selfish, where they truly haven't healed from things, they still haven't gotten over the past, they're still reminiscing about past problems, past people. Or this could be like somebody who, for example, like relationship wise, every single person that they are in a relationship with, they go through the same problem, right? Like same issues. They're probably always fighting with their partner, and then they just end up like betraying them, cheating on them, mistreating them, not caring about them. And it's like kind of like a switch that they do when it comes to their partners. So if you know somebody who is like this, I would say to slowly distance yourself from that, because I mean, they're obviously not in a good space. They obviously have a lot of healing and blockages and obstacles to go through, and I feel like this person is just running in circles with the cycle, and the, you know, this type of people, they're just empty inside, especially when they do these types of activities, or they feel called and pulled to do these activities, because they're just, there's a lot of missing inside, you know, and they're not practicing self-love, self-care. If this is, again, if this is you, I would say to try to work on yourself, and try to find that fulfillment in a healthy way, where you're not using others nor disregarding others. I would say to do more self-love, more self-care, talk to yourself good. If you're dealing with, you know, still with past traumas, I would say to, you know, it's time to start working on them, because you want to go ahead and face them. Because if you don't, until you do, you're going to continue to experience things that are going to trigger these traumas, especially if you're not working on them, or you're just, you know, trying to push them inside, the further inside that you can, so it doesn't come up. Or if you try to hide certain aspects of yourself, it's all going to come up. It's all going to come up. Okay, so let's pull another card to see what needs to be released from a different deck. Oh, okay, it's just one card. Okay, so we have surrender. I can release my need to control. Oh, and underneath the deck we do have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So when it comes to certain things, it is very important to surrender, right? Because obviously we can't control a lot of things. The only thing that we can control is ourselves, how we react, what the things that we say, the things that we do, right? So with a lot of people, with a lot of situations, just anything that is in the external, we really can control, right? Even with magic, we can try to push that outcome. We can try to, you know, make this and that go in our favor, but to completely change it like 360, it is possible with magic, but it just, you know, you have to do that correctly and right. But in your situation, you're being asked to surrender, right? Especially if you're not somebody who practices surrender. It is what it is. Things are going to unfold exactly how they're meant to unfold. Okay, so trust the universe. If something is triggering you, or there's like this urge to try to control someone, something, try to change your perspective, right? That is something that you can control. Why is it bothering you so much? You know, why is it making you feel this and that? You know, try to analyze how you're feeling, your thought process. Why, if you're, let's just say this is you, right? Why are you careless about other people, but when it comes to this, you're asphyxiated to control it or to manipulate it in a certain way where it's in your favor? This is something that you have been waiting for, that you have been highly wanting. If it's for you and it's destined for you to have it in this lifetime, it is going to happen. You just have to wait for it to fully happen in its own timing, right? You can't push things to manifest exactly when you want it to happen. It's all about divine timing and taking that opportunity when it actually comes your way. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what your main lesson and challenge is going to be for this month of August. All right, so we have two cards. So we have false narrative, discernment. To be mindful of the story you're telling yourself. Having a negative narrative is destructive and simply not true. Stop listening to your ego-based story that is laced with falsehoods and old conditioning. For every negative thing you say, counteract that by saying 3 positive words. See the truth of who you are, which is wise, magnificent, and radiant. And we have old conditioning, which is release. It's time to release old conditioning and to step into the new way of being. The old story and past cycles of blame, shame, and guilt need to move out. Take inventory of what no longer resonates and what isn't your burden to carry. Unload what has been weighing you down. All right, so with that being said, you know, there is some things that happened in the past that need to be cleared, that need to be let go of, and obviously it's not working for you, right? It's not helping you at all in whatever it is that you're currently going through. So when I'm just burning some of this right now. You know, if you went through things in your childhood, and whenever it was, it needs to be let go of. You should not be carrying that baggage with you anymore, right? You shouldn't be thinking of those things anymore. You should be trying to put your mind and your energy into what it is that you want to manifest, that you want for yourself, that you want for your life. And also, like, if you were raised a certain way, it doesn't mean that that is the right way to carry yourself. Or, for example, like, you know, there's just like some parenting that people used to do back in the days where it can be very harsh. It can be very mentally kind of like abusive in a way, right? Where it's not like it shouldn't be done because it harms the child more mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is. And then some people, when they have kids, they go ahead and do the same with their kids, and it's just like a whole cycle that is repeating itself. So here you're being asked to not be the same way that your parents, your guardians, whoever it was that raised you, because they could have taught you things that are really not helpful for you, that is not obviously not going to do you any good to be this type of way or to think this type of way. Yeah, I'm not going to go into details because it could just be, it can vary, you know. So anyways, let's go ahead and see the tools or what can help you with this discernment and release. Oh, okay, so we have humanitarian. Okay, let's see. Okay, so service. Your soul longs to joyfully serve. Being of service is a huge calling that is honorable and satisfying. How are you being called to serve humanity? Serve with grace and humility to assist those that cannot help themselves. Be an advocate, a confidant, and an inspiration along the way. So, I know you probably have been going through a lot. If you're not going through a lot, I would advise to use your time, to use your achievements to try to help others. You know, I know that we learn many things throughout our journey and our path that in a way help us to be a better person. And sometimes once we are able to accomplish our traumas, our healing, or whatever it was that was blocking us from being of service to others, or blocking us from not going towards our soul mission or us being on the right path, we just want to go ahead and help others. But you know, it's just, I always say this when I talk about being of service to others. I completely forgot what I was gonna say because my mind just went blank. But when we are being of service, again, it's beautiful. Not only are you helping other people, the other person, but as you help them, you learn many things, right? Because even if, like, for example, somebody tells you their story, and okay, let's just say like you feel like you went through some very hard, devastating things, right? And it was very difficult for you to go through. And then you meet somebody who actually went through some devastating things, and I'm not trying to compare, but their situation was probably a little bit more rougher than yours. And as they tell you their experience, everything that they went through, you start to think like, dang, you know, like, and I was feeling this way and that way because I went through this thing and that. And whole time there's other people out here that are going through way much worse. And you know, I'm not saying to disregard what you're feeling or disregard what you lived through, but it you know, there is other people who go through rougher things. And once we have that experience of others letting us know what they went through, it helps change our perspective. It probably gives us new ideas, as if, like, you know, like on how you can relate to them, on how your situation was similar, on how probably you could have done this and that, but since you already went through it, you can at least give them advice. But like, you know, I went through this, I did this, this didn't help, this helped, and that might help them, but it doesn't mean that you will have the exact answers for their situation. And that is okay, and that is perfectly fine, right? But again, whenever you get the chance to help somebody, I feel like you should go ahead and do it, just because doing so will also bring you a lot of blessings apart from the lessons that being of service brings you, right? Because I feel like that's a whole different other level when it comes to the lessons. Of course, we all go through our own individual lessons in our path, but just experiencing sacred medicine ceremonies, and how the shamans helpers, or the shamans, you know, they go through their own lessons, or they experience things differently because they are being of service, and they're holding everybody together as one, so everybody can release, can process whatever they're going through, and also helping, you know. But if you haven't had experience on being of service to others, that is completely fine. I feel like this, you don't obviously have to offer yourself to everybody, but I feel like this is just going to come to you. People are just going to come to you to vent, for advice, for help. You know, if you provide some type of services, you know, you might start to pull in people that are actually truly needing you, and you will notice right away. Okay, so let's see how you can be your own medicine this month to bring forward the necessary healing that you are needing. Oh, okay. So we have Strawberry 22 Love. We have Reclamation 27 Home. And then we have 6 Walking in a Good Way, Realign. Okay, perfect. So with these 3 cards, I do see, you know, again, emphasis on the love, and you see how the hands are holding on these 2 and also on this one, right? I feel like, again, whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're doing, it is important that you actually are doing the things that you love, because the things that you love is going to bring you so many things that you probably don't see right now. For example, it can bring you like fulfillment, satisfaction, and it can also open a lot of new opportunities for you where you feel, or you probably thought or felt that those roads were closed, or that it was impossible to actually obtain something that you were actually wanting, right? And I feel like it's very important for everybody, but talking to our viewers and our listeners, it is very important that you are your true authentic self regardless of what happens. And I feel like this is also something that you should highly love about yourself. Practice self-care, self-love, like we always say, but be nurturing to every aspect, every you, right? Even the whatever you perceive to be negative, bad, don't try to hide it. Always be your true self. Obviously, do not be disrespectful or harmful towards other people, right? When it comes to those parts that we perceive them as negative or bad. And I feel like this is also just going to take you to a path of finding your soul purpose, finding exactly what you are meant to be doing and why you came here, you know, on this journey, in this lifetime, on Mother Earth, with specifically you, with the specific family, the specific place that you were born on. I also noticed that there's other hands here, so I feel like there's also like this energy of giving and receiving. So if somebody does something good for you, like they're helping you, it is important that whenever you have a chance and whenever they need it, for you to also give back. Doesn't also have to mean like a person, a situation. It could also be like Mother Earth. It could also be like spirits, you know, giving those offerings, talking to them, you know, because sometimes we tend to ask for spirit when we really need it, right? And things are very drastic and we're like, oh my gosh, this is happening, I need help from spirit. And then we ask and we ask and we ask, and then once they actually step in and give us exactly what we asked and what we needed, we forget to give back to them. And sometimes we forget to even be thankful, appreciative that that the spirit world was able to assist us, right? That's just an example. But I feel like when it comes to healing, accept who you are, love who you are, and of course, try to walk in a better path. Try to do the right thing. That will help you so much along your journey. And once you start to love and accept yourself, it will be a lot easier to love and accept others. Because why, like, if you're loving and caring and accepting yourself, how can you not do the same for others? Okay, so that's just gonna come naturally. So let's go ahead and move on to our self-care activities. So what self-care activities will highly help you along this journey of the month of August? Ooh, okay, so we have 3 cards. So we have health checkup, we have look for fairies, and we have music. Okay, so it could be that sometimes we tend to not pay attention to our body. We just work, or we're too focused on something that some people sometimes they forget to eat. They're not sleeping properly. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not eating the right food just because it's like fast food because it's fast, and that way you don't have to cook or you have to spend X amount of time on doing this so you can complete this and do this other thing. It is important that you're taking care of your physical body, because this is a vessel that carries your soul. This is a vessel that is going to take you places. You use this. Your body helps you move. Your body helps you do the things that you want to do. And if you're not taking care of your body, this can create illnesses, diseases, so many things that can affect your body, which it can become an obstacle to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, right? Because if you're not right physically, how can you properly do whatever it is that you want to do? Okay. And also looking for fairies. Now for this one, it could be literally looking for fairies, like for the fae, for otherworldly beings. But I feel like this card, for me personally, it means like looking at the magical things in this world, right? Spawning them. The world is very beautiful. Taking appreciation of the very small things in our everyday, because we also tend to oversee that. Like at the end of your day, you could try to list all the things that make you happy, that make you smile, and you will see that later on if you continue to do these lists on the daily, you will start to see that list grow, and you will start to notice things that you really haven't noticed. Like, wow, yeah, this does make me smile, or this does make me happy. And I just like been completely ignoring it. I just been completely disregarding it, but it brings me a lot of good positivity. Okay, so let's see what mantras will help you for this month. Oh, okay, so we have 2. Unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret when I learned from my past. Acknowledging appreciation, whatever. When it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, it's always a no. Okay, and lastly, for the self-care, let's try to get an affirmation that can help you for this month. Oh, okay. So, I am loved and accepted exactly as I am, right here and right now. I see the world through eyes of love and acceptance. All is well in my world. Ooh, I really like this one for you. Okay, so we have that done. I do want to take the time to call forward the viewers and the listeners, higher self, and I am present. Okay, so let's try to get those messages from them to see what exactly they want you to know. Ooh. Okay, so one fell off camera, and it is compassion. So the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. So I feel like not only you have to practice compassion with yourself, but you have to practice compassion with the other people around you, your environment, the animals, every single living thing, or every single thing in your life and in your world. Okay, because once you start to do that, again, when you start to have this compassionate, loving, nurturing nature, it drastically changes your perspective and your point of view on the world. And once you start to be like this with yourself, it really is very life changing, because I mean, this has happened to me personally. I've been like, wow, I was just such like a negative person. I was living in the past. I was being like, I don't care type of attitude about anything, anyone. And then once that started to change, and I started to have more love towards every single thing, towards Mother Earth, towards every person, towards every situation and experience that I encounter, regardless if I perceived it as positive or negative. Later I was like, wow, my gosh, like I'm so happy that this and that happened. I'm so happy that I met this person, these people, because they taught me X, Y, and Z. And I feel like every single thing, every single person has a purpose in our life and in our journey, because every single thing in person is meant to teach us something. It's meant to bring forward something into our life, even if at first we don't see it clearly and we feel like it's something devastating or something negative. But at the end of the day, it's just us learning new things, going through new things that are only going to help us out in the future. Okay, so let's also go ahead and pull another card from a different deck. Oh, okay, so we have divine flow. I like this card. So eventually one sublime desire takes precedence over all others to follow the tail, the divine flow at all costs. And I also want to say that underneath the deck we do have detachment, and as I was just randomly shuffling while I was talking, this one kept coming up at the bottom. Okay, so again, being in one with source, being one with Mother Earth, just being one with what naturally comes to you and what naturally manifests in your life will help you so much on your perception. And also, again, letting go of the past, letting go of every single thing, person, situation, experience that is no longer of your service, that is holding you back, that is keeping you in a place that is dark, that you don't like, that is murky, that is foggy, that is negative, that is just not, you know, when you're where you are supposed to be. You know when something feels right and when it doesn't feel right. Okay, so I feel like that is a very important message that they're sharing here. Now let's move on to urgent messages from Spirit. Now I do want to call forward the viewers and the listeners, Spirit guides, Spirit family, Spirit team, their ancestors, and let's see what urgent messages they have for you. Okay, ooh, okay, so a mother's love is reaching out to you at this time and holding you close. She knows how much you miss her and wants to remind you that this special bond of love can never be broken. Okay, so for some of you, or for all of you, it seems like there is somebody of female energy in the spirit world that that is very present in your life, even if you don't know it, right? A lot of us, we can't see, we can't hear, we can't smell them, right? But they're always there, especially our spirit team on the other side, which is so big that and we just don't know it, right? Because it consists of our guardians, our spirit guides, our ancestors, and other beings that have been with us since we were young, or have been with us for a while when we decided to go an X, Y, and Z journey, right? But it seems like this female energy, you could have had experienced them, you could have met them when they were alive, and they're very present with you even though they are on the other side. I feel like they watch you, they protect you. There could be signs, sometimes they send you signs to know that their presence is there. Personally, I've noticed these things with angel numbers, right? Apart from hearing, seeing, and those gifts and abilities, they also if you see certain animals, certain birds, certain insects, butterflies, or like those magical moments where like you're just sitting outside and then a flower just randomly falls on your lap, that that is no coincidence. That is the spirit world letting you know that they're there and they're watching you, they're watching over you, they're protecting you, they're hugging you even though you don't feel it. So this female energy is very active. Now this could be somebody's mother. This could be a female energy that was in your family or somebody who you consider family. I feel like for some of you, this is also a female energy that you probably didn't meet, but you have heard a lot of things about them. For example, like for me, I never met my great grandma, but she is somebody who's very active in my life and is one of my main ancestors, right? So it could be like a similar situation to that, but just paying attention that they're there, paying attention to any signs, symbols, and synchronicities that you see that it could be them, and also look into the meanings of it online, so that way this female energy is not, I feel like they're not the only ones who are trying to reach out to you. I feel like other energies, other ancestors, spirit guides have also been reaching out to you, but right now the main one has been this female energy. Okay, so now I do want to ask my spirit family if they can help the viewers and the listeners with additional messages, please. What important things do they need to know right now? Okay, so we have two cards. Ooh, okay. Guarantee success in misunderstanding. So it could be that there was a lot of misunderstanding. For example, like you not understanding why things are going their way, or why this and that had to happen. But later on, once you are at the end of that road, you will have a very deep understanding on why exactly everything had to go the way that it did. And you would see that it all happened in order to bring forward success for you, and to push you to the place where you are meant to be, destined to be, and where you need to be at. Okay, even though it doesn't make sense right now, but later, in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months, once you are at success, you will have that understanding. Even if you don't understand it right now, even if you want things to go your way, and if they're not going your way, you will just be very appreciative when you have that understanding. And there's just going to be so much that you're going to know, so many things that are just going to click for you. And this is also going to be serving you as a tool, as a lesson, for future reference, and also to advise other people that are going through similar situation as you have, are, or will be going through. Okay, So we are coming to the end of our reading, and we are going to pull some angel numbers. So again, pay attention to these. You can see these angel numbers in addresses, phone numbers, on the clock, on license plates, just anywhere really. If you do see this, I would say pay attention to what you were thinking, saying, doing. These could serve as confirmations or warnings from the spirit world, okay? Okay, I think one flipped. Probably didn't. Oh, okay, yes. Okay, so 20. I am harmonious. To relate to others on an almost cosmic level. You are dedicated to building harmonious relationships of all kinds. You have the ability to pursue others to your point of view by using gentle means. Now, don't overdo this though, okay? If you do have a mouthpiece and you have that gift of manipulating energies and people, you obviously want to use it for the better good, okay? Number 2, I am diplomatic. You have great talent for finding solutions. Your intuition and unbiased nature allows you to see all sides of any situation and advise others towards the most fair and beneficial outcome. Okay, so that is the end of our reading. I do want to thank our viewers and our listeners in the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring the notification bell, and of course leave comments down below. If anything did resonate with you, come back next month and let me know if any of this did help you along your journey, or if any of this actually did manifest for you. Also in the description down below there will be my links to my social medias where you can go ahead and follow me. I do post daily guidance messages for people, or whoever is meant to watch them. But thank you so much for watching, and blessings to you.